that would be normally about the time that we get the recording sound. Luckily, there wasn't one this time, so you don't have to listen to it. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is your e-learning lesson for today, for the following dates. Of course, if you are in the second 9 weeks, that's perfectly okay. This video is still intended for no. This is Analytical Algebra 2. I'm just joking. Get out of here. Joke of the day. Can February, March? No, but April, May. I love my dad jokes. I keep telling you, I'm going to try and bring them up. So, as we get into your e-learning today, because that's what this is for Tuesday, Wednesday e-learning. Essentially, you've got basic algebra review. You should see in the front, using the distributive property. On the back side of that front page, combining like terms. And then last but not least, evaluating expressions. I'm just going to go through 2 of each just to refresh you with these ideas, the concepts, what it means. And after that, you'll be free to do these problems. I know there's a total of 30 of them, but like I have, yes, there are 30. Yes, I want you to do them all, but I know that you can get them done. You guys are awesome. Like all my classes are rock stars. You guys are rock stars, and I know you can get this done. And that's not just me blowing smoke up wherever it may go. I really do believe in you guys, and you guys can do this. So, a little bit of a refresher. We're going to start out with the distributive property, hopefully something y'all are familiar with. If you guys are familiar with all this stuff already, don't even bother finishing the video, just go. If you feel like you need the refresher, that's what this is for. So, I'm going to go through these 2. Shouldn't take too long. I like using my colors. I'm actually going to use the pen this time. It's going to be a little bit faster than writing on the board with Expo marker, because writing and erasing all that takes time. So, this distributive property. Recall that this is when we have something like, we have a number out front, and it's right in front of 2 things inside of a parentheses, right? So number 1, I have -6 times this quantity, that is a plus 8. Remember that what this looks like, all we're really doing is we're basically taking that and we're sprinkling it over these 2 things. That's why it's called distribute. So what I like to do, and this is just me, I like to draw arrows. From this outside one, I'll draw a 1 to A, and then I'll draw an arrow from -6 to 8. And so what we're going to basically do then is we're going to take -6, we're going to multiply it by the A. I'm going to bring that plus right here, still right in the middle. And then we're going to have -6 times positive 8. So -6 times A plus -6 times positive 8. And then it's just simplifying using the order of operations, which I'm sure you remember. -6 times A is just -6A plus -6 times 8. Well, what's 6 times 8? 48. Put in a negative, -48. Now, if we really wanted to, we could simplify this to -6A minus 48. And somehow, if you had the other way around where it was -48 minus 6A, it would be the same thing. So totally okay. All right, you guys get it? It should look something like this. Both of these would be negative, right? Same thing with number 2, which is all the way over here. No, that's kind of weird. I put it way over here. So, number 2 says 4 times the quantity 1 plus 9x. Same idea. We're going to take that 4, and I like to say sprinkle. I really do, because you know how you do it. You take some sprinkles, just drop them over, distribute, without being redundant. So I'm going to distribute that 4. 4 times the 1, 4 times the 9x. 4 times 1 plus 4 times the 9x. 4 times 1 is just 4. Now remember that really that 9 in front of the x is the coefficient. It tells us how many x's there are. So in this case, all we're saying is, hey, we're going to take this and we're going to come up with 4 groups of 9x. Well, how many x's are there? How many x's is that? Well, it's just 4 times 9, which is 36x. Look familiar? Hopefully it does. And don't forget, if you have just like a negative out front, if you have like a negative, I don't know, A plus B. Supposedly, if you have a problem like this is just an example. It's nothing new. But if you have a negative out front, that's the same as a -1, right? So if I distributed this in, I'm going to come up with a -A plus a negative b. So you can distribute negatives as well, just negatives. All right, familiar? Good, I'm glad you said so. All right then. Combining like terms. Like terms are numbers or phrases that just have basically the same. Let me see if I can make these bigger for the video. I don't know how well you can see them. It looks like you can see them all right. Remember that combining like terms is looking at two terms, well, not to be redundant, but looking at two things and saying, do they have something in common? In this case, number one, well, both of these have a k. This is what makes them like terms. It's the fact that they have a k. They have that k variable. So really, all I'm doing is I'm saying, hey, negative 6 plus 7, and you add those together. Negative 6 plus 7, that's equal to 1, and I have the common variable, which is k. Now, if we have a 1k, that just simplifies to k, right? We always act like that 1 is invisible. Can't see it anywhere we look. I'd love to come up with like some sort of funny catchphrase or something, but I don't have one right now. Number 2, we have 12r minus 8 minus 12. Now the real question to determine the like terms in this case is how many expressions have an r? Well, just one. So the nice thing about that is it means the 12r just comes down. 12r just comes down, and that's all I have. I know it looks weird, but that's because my pen is sticking out like that. So really, all we do now is we combine the other two, because a negative 8 minus 12, those are both just integers. They're just whole numbers. So what is negative 8 minus 12? You can think of it in terms of math, or money, more specifically. I love the money. If you have a calculator, you can use that. If you just do it outright, you can do that. But let's suppose I owe someone $8, and for some reason, Tyler West comes along, and he decides, Mr. Fager, here's a loan for $12 more. You're going to owe me 12 more later. So I owe him 8 to begin with, then I owe him another 12. How much debt is that? $20. So now I'm out 20. I don't know what instance Tyler would want to lend me money for, but sure, let's go with that. It's always fun to think about negative integers in terms of debt, like the debt of a credit card. We'll talk about that. That's combining like terms. Now, suppose we combine them. Suppose that there's something that has to do with distributing or combining like terms. We can kind of come up with it in this evaluating expressions. So this is really simple. I think this will be one of the easiest parts of them all, is that all we're trying to do is we're trying to simplify these terms down, given that one variable equals this, the other equals this. So all you're doing is you're plugging in these numbers. Notice that x equals 1 in number 1. So where do I see my x? Look, it's right here. And then y is equal to positive 2. That just goes over here to the y. And then you plug them in. Now be careful. Make sure you know which numbers you're plugging in. It might help to put some parentheses. So I see a y. I'm going to put parentheses. In there is a 2, because I plugged in the 2. Then we're going to divide by 2. We're going to add the x, which is 1. Now this is an important part. We need to use PEMDAS, or the order of operations. And we want to be careful with that, because if we don't do the steps in the right order, our answer is going to come out skewed. So we always do multiplication or division first, from left to right. And it looks like we've got division. Nice thing is, there's division and addition. That's clear cut. So let's do it. 2 divided by 2 is 1. Bring down the plus 1. 1 plus 1 equals 2. Straightforward, right? Make sure you're doing that. Start with parentheses, move down to exponents, then it's multiplication or division from left to right, so you read it like a book, and then it is addition or subtraction. Notice that or. We're going to do the same thing with number 2. Just take those numbers, plug them in. A equals 10, B equals 4. So where's my A? It's right there. Where's the B? B comes over, it's right there. So A is 10. We're subtracting 5. I'm going to use my parentheses just to remember that this was A minus 5, and then minus the B, which is 4. Then it's just subtraction from left to right, isn't it? 10 minus 5, that's 5. Bring down the minus 4. 5 minus 4 is 1. Simple enough. This is why I gave you guys 30 problems. It looks difficult, but it's really not. It's simple algebraic review. Hence is why I called it basic algebra. Hopefully you guys found this insightful if you needed it. If you didn't, and you still watched this far, God bless you. That's just amazing. You guys are striving to be brown nosers or Mr. Fager's favorites, which I may or may not have. Really, I don't like the term favorites. But thank you for sticking with me this long. If you have, now we're done. So go get to it. Do the 30 problems, and I'll see you guys in class Wednesday, Thursday. Make sure you turn this in, whether it's here in Canvas or it's to me in person. All right. Hopefully you guys are having a great day, whether it's a wonderful Wednesday or a thoughtful Thursday, whatever day it is. Or it's Tuesday. It's Tuesday, Wednesday. I keep forgetting. I'm getting my days mixed up. Gotta keep me on straight. So that's it. That's the video. Go on. Get it. You guys are good. I'll see you later.